The Bears fired Matt Nagy and GM Ryan Pace in 2022, but did make a brilliant move to select Justin Fields in the 2021 NFL Draft as the 11th overall pick, and hired Matt Eberflus as their new head coach. Matt started his NFL career as a linebackers coach in 2009 with the Browns, and was there for 2 seasons only. Then was hired by the Cowgirls, the Cowboys, and spent quite some time with them. After 7 seasons with Dallas, he was hired by the Colts as their defensive coordinator in 2018. But there is one important thing right now: Justin Fields. Fields started his NFL career as a backup to Andy Dalton. Well, Andy went down to a knee injury early that season, and Justin Fields had to take over. They ended up only winning 6 games that season, and only 2 of those were with Justin Fields behind center. The same season, Justin threw only 7 touchdowns and was picked off 10 times. The 2022 season was a bit different for Justin Fields. In the first 7 weeks of the season, he completed 76 passes out of 136 for 1,048 yards with 5 touchdowns and was picked off 6 times. It was a very rough start, actually an awful start, but his numbers popped off after week 7. He had a 63.7 completion with 1,194 yards to 12 touchdowns and was intercepted 5 times. He significantly improved as a passer, not only on the stat sheet but also on film. We know that Justin Fields is a mobile quarterback, and last season Fields rushed 160 times with over 1,100 yards rushing, and that was with 8 touchdowns. I have to imagine one of the key objectives for this new coaching staff will be to develop Justin Fields. And to be quite honest, Fields could dominate. Overall, the success of the Bears this new season will depend on a wide range of factors, and one of them is the offensive line. The offensive line was absolutely terrible. Fields was sacked 55 times this season. Actually, he tied with Russell Wilson by being the most 2 quarterbacks sacked this season. They have to improve that position this offseason, especially with the number 1 pick overall in the 2023 NFL Draft. But the Bears can absolutely go different ways. They could select a quarterback. I just don't see the point of that. Maybe a wide receiver, but an offensive lineman might be the better option. However, they weren't bad in the running game. The starter at the running back position was David Montgomery. The number 2 guy is Khalil Herbert, and had a pretty good second season with 731 yards and 4 touchdowns. The other issue is catching. The Bears traded for a wideout, Chase Claypool, mid-season. He came from Pittsburgh and honestly did a horrible job. I was expecting more out of him. He only had 14 receptions for only 140 yards but 0 touchdowns. The guy that stood out to me later in the season was the tight end Cole Kmet. This was his 3rd season and scored 7 touchdowns. I believe he could end up being the top target for Fields. My favorite guy on the roster was Darnell Mooney. I expected him to have a good season since it was his 3rd season with the Bears, but it was an absolute disappointment, and had his worst season of his NFL career so far. He had 40 catches for 493 yards but only 2 touchdowns. So if the Bears make some moves, whether that's in the draft or in free agency, signing a wideout for Justin Fields might be a right thing to do. I mean, we saw what happened in Philly with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, but that was just a very dumb trade by Tennessee. There's something in me that's telling me this team is going to take over, and without a doubt, there will be a lot of money spent this offseason in Chicago. Ultimately, the success of any football team depends on some factors, including coaching, player development, and team chemistry. It remains to be seen how the Bears will utilize their available resources and how successful they will be in their effort to support their young quarterback. Oh boy, am I excited for this team. Why? Because Justin Fields has started to look good, especially late in the season, and with the right coaching staff around, this team could end up dominating the NFL. Bitch, we some stars, pull up in foreign cars.